What is going on, guys? Welcome to another Wednesday preview video. We got week number 12 on tap on Saturday, and we're going to go ahead and look at the Skeeters recruiting board, Midland State's recruiting board, as well as McAllen's recruiting board. Disclaimer, no brother today, so it's just going to be me. Hey, hi guys, how you doing? It's just me. All right, let's do this thing. He likes to do it a certain way. I'm going to do it pretty ad hoc, really improvised. So if we take a look at the Skeeters recruiting board here, Travis Jackson still down to Navy by 410 points. We got a 1,700 deficit for Ardmore. It doesn't look like 3 through 5 is even going to have a chance at Travis Jackson. Looks like it's going to come down to Navy or Shreveport, which is actually kind of funny. Dennis Newsom, this is a big get for the Skeeters. I think that he really was impressed at his visit. If we take a look at his visit, actually he doesn't even have, okay, so maybe it doesn't show you, their visits once they've already confirmed. But I think he really was impressed out there, because I think they might have won the game when he showed up. Corey Young, we're only down 245 to Arizona, so I feel like, especially with the running game that Andre Wingo and Roberto Allen have been able to pull off, I think that a tackle like Corey Young is definitely going to be a guy that, says, hey, I want in on that. Danny Wiley, though, here's a quarterback, down 905 points to East Carolina. Pretty good quarterback here, 71 overall out of Sulphur Springs, Texas, 6'4", kind of fits that Nate LaDuca prototype. And we got Galveston, who's still choosing all of our team builder teams, only down 975. Kind of would rather go with Galveston versus Danny Wiley, but it looks like we're probably going to end up getting Danny Wiley. Some other people that we were looking at here. Here's Luke Kleck. I think we're going to have to remove him finally once and for all, but I think we're only keeping him on the board here just to kind of see where he's going to choose, where he's going to go to. Jason Burnett, looks like it's going to be a tight battle here between Nevada and Shreveport, which is kind of sucky, really. I think I'd rather want to put more points on him, but yeah, it looks like John Potts. We're going to end up getting John Potts, number 61 overall. Quarterback here, Titus Oliver, good guard, 3-star guard, 6'6". I like that. Let's see, Carl Palmer going to actually sign with Shreveport, so that's good. I think Shreveport's actually doing a pretty good job with their recruiting. Definitely in the lead for a lot of guys. So I think they're doing a good job. All right, guys, let's check out McAllen's recruiting board. I think that they've got some visit. Yeah, they do. So they got Quan is visiting, Mark Gold, Joe Smith, and Rory Leak. So those guys are visiting this week. Let's see if they had any movement on the Gunner Rivers train. They do not. So after 1 week, Little Rock still in the lead over Texas, and I think, like we've said in the past, that as long as Texas keeps losing games, that only looks good for us, right? So I think Gunner Rivers is going to be making up his mind here pretty quick. Matt McDaniel, 80 overall athlete, definitely considering ACU. McAllen is right there with him, though, so he's pretty much slimmed it down to top 3. Seth Howard has committed, so another really good athlete out of Benson, Arizona, 5-star athlete. So this is really big for McAllen. I feel like at 6'4", he's probably 273. He's probably a defensive end or some kind of type of defensive lineman. I think maybe he can play offensive lineman. I'm not sure, because 6'4", 270 as an athlete, I don't think I've ever really seen that. Most of these guys are like Matt McDaniel's size, like 6'1", 187, can play multiple positions. Being that heavy, you're kind of pigeonholing yourself, backing yourself into the corner there, to being pretty much one position. You're going to be on the line. You're either going to be on the line or you're going to be some type of tight. You're going to be a really big tight end if you're that big. But Chris Cook, 6'1", 4-star athlete, not athlete, but a guard, pass blocking, going to sign there. Mike Evans, the 5-star, number 4 running back, looking at Midland State and McAllen. Looks like he's going to end up going to Midland State, though. But as long as you can stay within some range there and get into the offseason and try to really spend a lot of your points on guys like this, I think you have a shot. So as long as he doesn't commit, you're in pretty good pretty good standing. Daryl Jackson, athlete, again, number 15. Hacienda Heights, California, 6'1", 4-star. Considering a lot of these team builder teams, but Denver Tech, Dylan, he doesn't want to put in that hard work. He doesn't want to put in that hard work that requires to go to Denver Tech, right? Made a comment like that. He thinks I'm salty, guys. He thinks I'm salty that I still lost to Denver Tech. I'm not salty. I like all of our team builder teams. I can't hate on a team that I lost to, especially if it's a team builder. Dwayne Austin, tackle, number 9, 6'4", not bad. Considering Nebraska, but with 700 points, I feel like McAllen's making a lot of big moves lately. He's got a visit in week number 14. So actually, last week, that's why Nebraska kind of overtook McAllen. So hopefully he doesn't sign with Nebraska before a visit happens. I really hope not, because McAllen would be in good standing to get Dwayne Austin. Clifford Weaver, we lost out on him. Kirk Brown, looking pretty bad there. Some guys locking us out. So overall, I think that we're doing pretty good with McAllen. Derek Wade out of Big Rapids, Michigan. That's like a lock. Don't even need any points on him, right? Just don't even need that. Just we get a weekly bonus of 200 every week. So Jeff Goodry, Rory Leak is actually visiting. He's a fullback. Andres Buckley. Put some more points on him this week, just to kind of stay within the range of Little Rock. Dominique Lewis, look like we're going to stay within the battle for him. Camden Tucker, still have that 700 points in Camden Tucker. Hopefully that he ends up going to McAllen. That would be big time for them. Bo Payne signs as well. So pretty good board by McAllen. Everything's looking pretty good. There's some depth guys down below. Ezekiel Henry, little update on him. Don't want to skip out on him. Looking like he wants to go to Amarillo. So we'll have to see. I think that might be because McAllen kind of laid off a little bit. But we'll see how that goes next week. All right, and last but not least, let's check out Midland State's recruiting board here. Big W against McAllen last week. Let's see where they're at. So Mike Evans, we kind of already saw him. Big-time lead over McAllen. Daryl Jackson, still kind of hanging in there with McAllen. Adam McDonald, big-time tight end, number 10 in the country, signs with Midland State. Kyle Wagner, the halfback, looking like he's going to come over to Midland State. Tyler Dukes, leaning towards ACU, leaning hard towards ACU. Down a grand. Probably not going to happen, but as long as you stay within range. Jason Williams, Midland State's trying to steal Jason Williams from us. I don't want that to happen because we really need some guys to sign for Ardmore. That's getting really tough. Quincy Booth ends up signing with the Wranglers. So Ardmore, we were trying to shoot for him, but it doesn't look like that. I mean, it's not going to happen. That's kind of sucks. Matt Davis, down a grand. Eric Pendleton, we didn't put some points on him just because he's in the orange and the red. Like, he's gettable. Definitely gettable, but he's already leaning toward ACU. Jeff Goodry, talked about him when we were looking at McAllen. McKinley Harris, a speedy wideout, number 102 in the nation. This guy might be a pretty solid player eventually. Adam Davis, a big-time get, number 42 middle linebacker. Jared Bell, number 43 tackle. So it looks like things are looking pretty good for Midland State. Obviously, their standings in the Big 12 and getting big-time W's is helping in the recruiting trail. Boyd Scales, Ardmore's trying hard to get this guy, but looks like he really likes Midland State. Might be the jerseys, right? He seems to like cool jerseys. Look at that. USC, Ardmore, ACU, Denver Tech, Midland State, like all those teams have pretty sweet uniforms. So I think he's a jersey guy. Robert Miller, strong safety, middle of the road kind of player, probably a project guy. But yeah, things look really good for Midland State. All right, guys, so the practice that we're going to take a look at this week is actually going to be with Amarillo because they have a really big game coming up here against Denver Tech. And sorry, because usually my brother's got the controller and I'm the one kind of doing the talking. So this is going to kind of be kind of weird. But yeah, this is a big game for Amarillo to try to shoot for some bowl game aspirations. Also just to kind of get on track for the rest of the season. And when we look at Denver Tech, obviously they're undefeated. They're the number 2 team in the nation. This is a big game for them too, and honestly, if Amarillo can just hang in there with them, play good defense, don't turn the ball over against this team, maybe even implement some option themselves, because they do have Myron Wallace-Jones, they have Rayshon Beckham. You can see even this kind of formation with this pistol, this kind of this wing offset type of deal. They've got the makings that they can actually upset Denver Tech. Even in a shotgun type of formation, like they've got some pretty unique play calls with the Clemson playbook. Like this play right here, kind of like a little bootleg type of play. I mean, obviously nobody's open, but that's the type of defense that they're going to have to play against a team like Denver Tech, because Drakeenan Timmons can definitely beat you through the air. He's not gonna win the game through the air. It's just not gonna happen. They're definitely gonna win the game on the ground, utilizing their rushing attack, but you still gotta respect Drakeenan Timmons' arm. You just have to. But like plays like this, definitely gonna help you out against that Denver Tech defense. And then we have just a more of a standard type of look. So I would expect them to try to go for these out throws like that. That would be really good if they can hit Josh Sutton. I would probably want to focus on Goolsby because he's also got big play potential. This play is probably not going to work, but yeah, see that closing speed from that linebacker. They've got some really good secondary players, and it's something to watch out for. Even if you try like over the top, trying to get an over the top play here just so you guys can look at it. But if we get Sutton here going that way, you still got nothing. So I mean, this defensive line is very good. I still think that this team is a lot better than what they've shown. But you definitely need Russell Springer to be a little bit more accurate. The defense has to apply pressure. Springer's got to make better throws, got to catch the football. I don't know. They're not really showing it here, but this team does seem like they could get the upset. As I throw a pick. All right, let's take a look at the top 25. Ohio State still remains in first place. Last week they were in second, actually. And then now we got Denver Tech last week, number 3. Now they're number 2. Washington hanging in there in the pack 16, I think it is. Oklahoma State, who we beat, by the way. I don't know why we're not up there. But Oklahoma State is now number 4, from moving up from number 6. Oklahoma moves up 2 spots. It seems like everybody moved up 2 spots with the Texas A&M loss. So I don't think we covered that, but Mississippi State whooped them 35-21. So they took care of business there. And, they fell in the standings now. They are no longer a part of the unbeaten. And losing to a team like Mississippi State, obviously Ardmore, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Washington, even these one-loss teams are going to vault you. So it's actually pretty funny because look at this. Oklahoma, the state of Oklahoma, is actually having a pretty good 2017, wouldn't you say? State, the Sooners, Thunderwolves, everything's looking good. Alabama, yes! Get out of that national championship picture. Miami, Florida State, got some good teams here. Let's see, Kansas State 7-2, UCLA 8-1. There's North Carolina. There you go, heel boy. Number 15, beating Virginia. And Mississippi State only moved up 2 spots. They beat the number 1 team in the land, and they only moved up 2 spots. That's kind of a travesty. And yet again, ACU is still not ranked. They're getting votes. So is Midland State. But I don't know, man. The voters, they just hate the Big 12. All right, time for Heisman Watch. Kerryon Johnson is still in first place. Jameel Schmidt still in second. Robert Bishop moving up the board. And then Drakeenan Timmons. Nice. He actually got a little bit of a vault there. 142 yards passing, 194 yards rushing, 3 total touchdowns. So like I said, guys, I'm not really thinking that Amarillo is going to upset Denver Tech, but what I'm saying is don't be surprised if it happens, right? I mean, odds are it's not going to, but seriously, don't be surprised if it happens. But, these 3 guys are some of the biggest playmakers that the Big 12 team builder has going for it. You got 90 overall, 98 overall. And actually, Jamil Schmidt's is he a product of this system? It's something that we have to ask ourselves, because 85 overall sophomore, is he the product of the system, or is he just starting to hit his stride, and is he really going to take a big step forward for junior and senior seasons if he doesn't decide to go into the NFL draft? That's the question. All right, and just taking a look at Week 11 Players of the Week. Bruce Hobbs, 2 interceptions off of Jed Carmichael. No surprise there. Got to give him the Defensive Player of the Week. And then Robert Bishop, who's been on this board maybe like 4 times thus far. 386 for 4 touchdowns. Let's count how many times Bishop's been on there. He's already been on there once, twice. Let's see, that's 2. I thought he'd been on there more. 3, 4, 5. So he's been on there 5 times this season. So definitely, for those of you guys who think that Robert Bishop is the best quarterback in this conference, I would probably agree with you after that performance that I saw out of Jed Carmichael. Bishop should probably be the first, or maybe the first 2 or 3 quarterbacks taken in next season's draft. So here we have an injury update. We have Michael Swan, who's going to be out for 8 weeks for Nebraska State. I don't think that my brother knows this yet, so he's actually coming over tonight to play his next game. So when he sees Michael Swan's out for 8 weeks, that's really going to hurt his chances to make a bowl game for the first time in Nebraska State history. So that is one guy that is really going to hurt for them. We've got Mario Falk, who's now eligible to come back. We have Eclipse Montgomery right now is the tackle right now for the Skeeters, but Falk is on his way back, so that's a very, very good thing. And yeah, so that is it for the injury report. All right, Week 12 previews. Shreveport at Kansas A&M, Midland State at Nebraska State, Broken Arrow, McAllen, Amarillo, Denver Tech, and then Ardmore, Little Rock. So I'm going to start off first and kind of get into a groove here talking about Ardmore against Little Rock. Take a look at the rankings here. Obviously, Kirk's going to take me. Good pick. A- offense. Offense has been killing it this season with number 11th in rating. And then we've got Little Rock at number 30. So ever since Rhett Bollinger took over, this offense through the air has kind of started to pick up a little bit. The rush offense, they're not doing a whole lot. 121st, we're 99th. So we kind of vaulted some spots a little bit after that big time game by DeQuandre Shook last week, getting over 100 yards. Points per game, number 16, and then Little Rock's just not able to score. If they can't run the football, which it doesn't look like that they're trying to, we're going to stop them through the air. That's just how it's going to work. I mean, we have to key in on they're probably going to want to pass with a good defense that we do have. I think that Ardmore is probably going to end up taking the W here in rolling fashion. So let's check out Shreveport and Kansas A&M. This is probably one of my favorite matchups. Just I don't know if it's because of the colors or the team names. I think it's just a really cool type of matchup. I wouldn't say contrasting styles, but 2 teams that love to run the football. It's going to be a rock'em sock'em smash mouth kind of game, and I would actually, I don't know which game we're going to show, but this would be a game that I would actually consider showing, even though we saw Kansas A&M a few weeks ago and Shreveport last week. But you guys can take a look at the rush offense. Camu, number 8, turnover differential, number 3 in the land with 10. They're a plus 10 this year. Pass offense, obviously not even trying to do that. Total defense, number 17. This is what I'm talking about. Smash mouth football right here. Rush defense for the Skeeters, number 1. Total defense, number 14. Total defense for Camu, number 17. Like, guys, I don't know who to pick in this game. It's extremely tough because both teams like to run the football, really punch you straight in the mouth, and then you've got Camu, who plays really good defense, and you got Shreveport, who plays good defense. So this is going to be one in the trenches. So whatever team can outlast the other, that's going to end up who's going to win that game. I'm going to save my pick for later because I do have to think about it a little bit. Midland State and Nebraska State. This one's going to be tough for me to pick because I know that Nebraska State has got their backs up against the wall. But I'm going to take Midland, guys. I'm going to take Midland State to beat my brother in Nebraska State. They just don't have enough, guys. They just don't have enough. He's trying to force throws. He's just not comfortable with the team. I know that he likes to run that football with Monson and Pritchett, and then even getting Tanner Brenneman involved in some option plays. But that defense, when they do try to throw this football against Midland State, that defense at a B+, if Camu's locking them down, if Little Rock's locking them down, then that only means that Midland State's going to do the same thing. And, they've got a number 4 rush defense. This is going to be a really tough game for Nebraska State to win. I think Midland is going to win this game by at least 10. And it's going to get out of hand late. It'll be close up until about halftime, third quarter. And then when the fourth quarter hits, I think Midland State's talent level will show. And it's going to be game over for Nebraska State. They're going to fall to 5-5. Broken Arrow and McAllen. I'm taking McAllen in this one, even though I wouldn't be surprised if Broken Arrow won this game. And I'm taking McAllen because they still have the number 1 points per game and number 1 total offense, number 1 pass. Yeah, I mean, Broken Arrow just makes way too many goofy, boneheaded type of plays, decisions. Drew Snyder is not a solid quarterback. He's very turnover friendly, so I'm going to go with McAllen in this one, and I think they're going to roll. But that doesn't mean they will. Just don't be surprised if Broken Arrow pulls off the upset, and don't be surprised if this one happens. Amarillo has secured their bowl game as long as they don't lose out. If they lose out for the rest of the season, you might get snubbed at 6-6. You could get snubbed. So they do need another W here at some point. But going on the road with all that highlighter yellow, those fans screaming, Eureka, we got the gold. It's going to be tough for the University of Amarillo. And, with that rush defense, though, at number 3, they do have a very, very good defense. The pass defense has not been there, though, but that rush defense has been very, very solid. And that's what they're going to need in order to beat Denver Tech. I think a lot of safety blitzes with Best and what is the other player's name? Hold on, guys. You guys need to know, as much as I do, the safeties' names. Here we go. Yep, I knew it was Steele. Taysom Steele and Ladarius Best. Those safeties got to be able to come up and stop that option run. I think that if they do that, Denver Tech could get upset. As long as Amarillo and Russell Springer takes care of the football, I think that this game could be closer than what a lot of people are anticipating. But I'm going to go with Denver Tech in this one just because that's chalk. That should happen, the number 2 team in the nation. And for Shreveport Camu, I'm going to take Shreveport. I think that they've been on a roll this season. I think that even though they lost to Ardmore last week, I don't think that's going to get them down. Kansas A&M with that big win last week against Nebraska State, I don't think that that's going to be enough. I think that was a game that they absolutely had to win, but now they've got to play another physical team. I just don't think that they're going to be able to hang in there with Shreveport, which is surprising because both of these teams are totally opposite with overall rating. Like Camu's way better, Shreveport's the 78 overall. Like you would think it's Kansas A&M all the way, but I think Shreveport's just got that magic going on. So, guys, that's going to be it for the Wednesday preview video. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you like this thing, and if you're new to the channel and you like it, love it, and you want more of it, of the NCAA Football 14 Team Builder series, make sure you hit that little red button for a subscribe or my logo in the bottom right-hand corner. And make sure you hit that notification bell because I don't want you guys to miss any of our uploads because these are longer uploads, so it's going to take a little while to kind of catch yourself back up. Even though I do put timestamps a lot of times in these descriptions and pinned comments, I know it kind of gets a little tough to try to catch back up and be engaged with the action on the field. So, guys, I'll catch you on Saturday. Make your picks below. Let me know who you got, and we'll see you then. As always, peace.